How's it going, everybody? Doing a game review here today. I don't think I've done a game review in a while. I just finished it, actually probably like 10 minutes ago. Now maybe like 20. Because I started up a new game briefly. And it is Resident Evil 4 VR. Obviously, as you guys know, I've gotten the Oculus Quest 2. I got it, I got November 4th. I got Resident Evil 4 on the 6th of November. I just want to talk about it. Especially if people are on the fence about, maybe getting Oculus. I mean, I can only speak from Oculus Quest 2. I can't speak on, PlayStation VR or anything like that. But I just really want to talk about this game. Because honestly, it was fucking awesome. It was an amazing experience. To the point where I immediately started up a new game. And hey, you can get, after you beat it, you can get unlimited rocket launcher you can buy. You can buy Matilda. The automatic handgun or whatever it is, I forget. And your treasure carries over when you do the new game plus. It was a $40 game. Well worth it. I think my final game time is 13 hours and like 36 minutes or something like that. You can beat this game quicker. For sure, I was really taking everything in. It had been so long since I played it to completion, so much of it was unfamiliar, which was cool. It was just like fresh. But honestly, I can, and this is not, me exaggerating or hyperbole or anything, but you can literally, this game is almost, I would say it's worth it if you have interest. If you do have an interest and you've kind of been on the fence about the Oculus Quest 2, it is absolutely worth it to get it just for this game. Now, of course, you can buy other stuff for the experience as well, and that's crazy to say because this is a game that originally came out in 2005 for the GameCube, and then it came to the PS2 maybe like at the end of 2005. It was a timed exclusive. It never came to the original Xbox. But you can buy it on the Xbox One now, and you can buy it on the PS4. I would think they're download. But the way they built this game, back just to play for VR is awesome. I talked about it a little bit in the Impressions video when I was talking about the Oculus Quest 2 itself. And the game, I'm not going to get into the story. It takes place in Europe. You're Leon S. Kennedy. You got to save the president's daughter. You can counter, what they call them, Los Plagas. So these were when they introduced like the different things. You shoot some zombies' heads off, or I guess they're not even zombies anymore. Like under the control, you got Salazar and Sadler. There's another main bad guy. Ada Wong pops up in Wesker's mention, and Krauser's in this one as well. You fight him at a point, but there are spoilers here if you've never played the game. But they kidnap the president's daughter. They want to inject her with this stuff and then send her back to the U.S. and shit's gonna go nuts, right? Leon's sent in to help her. Shit goes wrong, of course. The villagers start attacking you. They kill 2 cops who bring you there. They push their, they send the jeep off the side of like this cliff. You go get right into it. And these, like I said, these things are the zombies, and they've been using these ones in 5 and stuff. Where some heads come off and the thing comes out of its head and it's moving like the thing that's controlling them. Because these are like the little parasites they put in the people. So it's like controlling, and the thing comes out, you gotta take care of that too. Doesn't happen all the time. But yeah, Resident Evil stuff, right? But first things first, like I was playing, I was like, oh, I'm not nervous about how it's gonna make me feel, because some of this stuff made me a little nauseous, right? Like the effect of the manner I had to get used to. And even the Paranormal Activity game does it a little bit, not as much. But this has you move with the one thumbstick, the left thumbstick moves you, and the right one moves you like this. You can still do, if you hold it and you can do the quick 180 turn that they introduced for that game. Or maybe that was in earlier games too. But it goes like this, and I don't mind that. Apparently it's supposed to help you. I don't know if you can make it so it's smooth turning or not. I honestly should have looked. But it tells you what your dominant hand is and stuff, so you can, certain things, you hold the gun in whatever hand and shit like that. And the virtual motion controls are great, and they work well. The shooting is so fucking precise. I think my percentage was like, it was like 64, 65%, and it could have been better. There was points where I was just going nuts with the TMP. And that thing kind of is not completely accurate. It can be even better. Your accuracy for sure. I played on normal. Then you beat it and you unlock professional difficulty. Like I said, you pull the gun, like your handguns are like here on the side. So if I was playing it like this, it's gonna be here on this, on this side, but like kind of waist level. So you pick the gun up like this, whoosh, from this side. You take the bullets are on this side. You pull them and you actually put the clip in. You got it like that. Your grenades. Let me actually, you know what? Let me do this. There we go. So your grenades, they'd be a little lower, but your grenades are right here. You pull them like this. You go with the thing, the controller. You throw them the best you can. You kind of have to go like this. To really get a good throw, your knife is on this side. So you go like this, slash with the knife. Works very well. Your shotgun, or your secondary weapon, rocket launcher, shotgun, the machine gun, the rifle. You pull it like this, you pull it over your back. Same thing with the bullets, they're on this side. And sometimes you have to pump the shotgun, you put it like that. Now every gun has its reload kind of feature, the way you gotta kind of, the Magnum or whatever, you just gotta put the thing in. Go like that. It looks nice, it feels good, it's not, it's fairly responsive, and it doesn't have to be precise with how you're reloading the stuff, but you have to, it adds level of intensity when you're getting chased and you're like, oh my god, you're like fumbling around kind of, you're like, oh shit, grab the gun. Get the bullets in there. You could put first aid spray over it. I guess it could be your right or left, depending. Left shoulder, and with the spray, you'll take it out and you'll actually spray it in your face. It's kind of neat. It moves well, like I said. It moves well in this view, and you never, like I said, with such good aim, you don't get overwhelmed too much. There's points where you kind of like, oh shit, you gotta kind of book it away a little bit, and then continue. But man, it works so well, in my opinion. You can open doors by going like this, or he'll just kick them with the A button, kick them in. There are parts where you have to do, motions with your hands with the controls, so you gotta go like this, or like that, or like this, or hold the two bottom triggers, which I said in the minecart area. It wasn't telling me what motion to make, it was just telling me to hold the triggers, and I died like 3 times, getting pissed. So next time I played it, I held the triggers, and I think I went down, and it worked. And sometimes if you get grabbed, or you have to pull yourself up, you gotta shake the controller like this, with the controls like that, until the thing fills up. It all works very well. You can sit down to play this game. You can stand if you'd like. Certain games will tell you you're better off standing or room scale. I was sitting down for this. It was easier. I don't want to be standing, especially because this is a full-length game. A lot of these other VR experiences are not. They're 2, 3, 4 hours, even shorter. This is a full game, 13 hours. Depends on how quick you want to. You can blow through it, especially the second time playing. It'll be faster. So I wasn't playing it. I'd be playing it longer than I play those other games. So I was playing maybe a 45-minute, maybe an hour stretch, which is really the length I want to go with these games. And with this game, I would occasionally just pop the headset off for like a minute, and then just put it back on, because they don't really want you playing it. You shouldn't play continuously. But man, all that works graphically. It's like an up-res version of the original. The character models on Leon, Ashley, Ada, and all the other characters is solid. characters look good. There's not a ton of different enemy characters. You will see the same ones coming at you. And there's other creatures and stuff as well at points as bugs. Occasionally when you break certain boxes, a snake will be in there, not an item. You can get eggs from chickens or shooting them. You get eggs from crows sometimes and snakes as well, which is weird. They'll help you with your health. The inventory. You go to the inventory thing, you hit A, and you go in there and you're pointing with the two controllers, and they have little lines going at you pointing. So you mix your herbs in there and stuff, and you can decide what you want to put in what weapon slot. And when Ashley's with you, you can cure her. You can cure her that way or heal her that way. And you can also hold down the one trigger, and then you can choose to either have her stay or hide in places, or run with you, or you can heal her that way. You do use her briefly in a somewhat creepy part where you just have a flashlight and you gotta throw these candles at the guys and they burst and they go into flames. I actually kept a save at that point because I'd like to do a gameplay of that at some point. I kept a save of that area, I believe I did. Like I said, it's long for Resident Evil game, especially coming from the other ones that were criminally short. I said graphically most of it because you see muddy, textures are flat and kind of muddy stuff, and looks grimy in parts, but like I said, it's an old game, but some of the architecture and stuff looks good. And the bosses look good and stuff like that too. Oh yeah, when you fight the alligator, the giant gator, you gotta get the harpoon, and you put the harpoon in like this through the top, you gotta do this motion. And you could hold the guns too with two hands if you want. I found myself not doing that. It was just easier to use one. I actually don't know if it helps with your accuracy on some of those. The only one I used the two for was the rocket launcher. And sniper rifle, you pull it in and it zooms in. That actually takes a little bit to get used to, but when it works, when you're able to do it, it works well. You meet up with the merchant as always in this one. What are you selling? What are you buying? You find treasures throughout the game and shit. You can sell to him, you can upgrade your weapons, and then when you upgrade them to their max, you get special bonuses. Like I had the striker shotgun upgraded completely, and I was able to upgrade it to where it holds 100 shells. So that was huge because I was running out of ammo late. It was not a problem for like 3/4 of the game, and then it became an issue. So a lot of enemies come at you in this game. I think I killed 875 enemies was my final total. But I was able to complete it, and a cool thing at the end too, when everybody remembers the part where you gotta get out of there because it's gonna blow up. This Ada grabs the sample and fucking detonates a bomb, and you gotta use the jet ski. And you have to hold like this. The two things you're actually holding the jet ski, and it's actually very intuitive. It worked well. Did it on the first try, avoiding things and whatnot. That was really cool. Lewis is in there as well. Luis. He's another good character. Spoilers, though, he ends up getting killed. You run into him early, and then you run into him a couple more times. The Krauser fight, the first part of the Krauser fight, when you're just kind of doing, they're fighting with knives. You gotta do a lot of motions, and that's all motions in that one, then you fight them normally. The merchant also has the little shooting range where you go and you pick certain guns, you gotta shoot the targets, and you get little figurines and stuff. That's fun, and also very fun to play because it just works so well. The controls are super fucking smooth. Oh yeah, you talk to Hunnigan, and occasionally the bad guys will communicate. You pull out your little thing, and you gotta push the button with your finger, and the thing opens up, and you gotta hold it wherever you want. You gotta push in buttons like this, or put a key card in like that. Some of the button pressing can be a little annoying, depending on where you're kind of sitting. You gotta really get in there, and sometimes it's not completely accurate, and sometimes you'll be getting chased, like that one thing tries to kill you. And it takes a shitload, and I'm trying to push the button into behind me. You gotta get it exact. You kind of like this, that could be a little annoying, but it was never really a big problem. else. Voice acting in this game is what it is. Some of it's alright, some of it's not. Some of it's solid, and some of it isn't, but whatever. The story is classic Resident Evil type shit. But all the weapons look good as well when you kind of look at them like this. Yeah, that looks nice. You can upgrade. You can buy more space in your case from the dude, the merchant as well. But it really just it's mainly not because all that shit. All that shit's the same, but it's more about just the way it works and the way it drops you into this world. And I kept wanting to go back and play more because it's just you really get into that world and it's fun. It's not overly creepy because that one, in my opinion, wasn't creepy to begin with. But there are a few moments where you're like turning your head fully around to see if something's still chasing you and shit, which is kind of cool. But the atmosphere was cool with that headset on. It made it feel fresh, and I didn't care if the graphics aren't state-of-the-art shit. It's out now. It didn't matter. And that was such a huge bonus. And I'm so, I started to play again, but I had to charge the headset. And I started up a game real quick and saved it after like 5-10 minutes. Because I was so pumped to just go back and still keep playing because it works so well. The way it's really fun. Some people might not like that little stutter kind of turn. Honestly, I didn't mind it at all. It's kind of cool too. I think I showed it in the video. When you save, you actually can turn the thing on the typewriter and you gotta punch it in. Sometimes that gets annoying too because I was like sitting by the couch, so I'm like trying to push the thing, but I'm hitting the couch and I gotta like kind of position myself to do it. So sometimes that's a little bit of a pain, but nah, I guess that's not a big deal. You just kind of almost have to be in the perfect position sometimes. That's why I think they tell you room scale and standing for certain games, because I think sitting just wouldn't work. It's fun though, and it's got the gameplay is there. They did it so well, in my opinion, with the VR controls and everything. You can turn your wrist and you can see your watch, and it has your health on. It shows you the time that it actually is, and shows you how much treasure you have and how long you've been playing. I'm trying to think if I'm missing. Oh yeah, you can like open up certain things like this, or open a cabinet, slide it, or you can pull open both doors. And sometimes there's cranks, so you gotta go like that. That kind of stuff. Just all works so well. Like I said, they did such a good job. Everyone involved with just how, because it really is. It makes me like want more full games on there. Because like I said, a lot of it is it's a game, sure, and it's a great experience, but it's like a full 10, 8, whatever, even like a 7, 8, 10, 15 hour experience that you want. That's why San Andreas could be pretty. I want to see what they do with that, because that could be fucking sweet too. I'd love to see more Resident Evils, honestly, on here. Man, just make all the old ones with just the new controls. God, like going to the mansion and shit. These newer controls would be fucking cool. It works well. You can play with the headphones in too, so it's kind of nice. But you can hear, the sounds fine through the headset also. Just overall, it was a super fun experience. I'd give the game honestly a 9.5 out of 10. It was that good. Like, I'm so grateful they made it. Like, that's part of the reason I picked it up too, is because I'm like, oh shit, Resident Evil 4, that could be sweet. And I just was interested in a lot of the other stuff as well. So I got this freaking thing blasting on the front of my nose. Look away. But really, I just wanted to kind of talk about it and tell people, if you're on the fence about getting this thing, especially if you're getting the $300 one, the 128 gig, the 256 gig is $400. And a lot of these games are small. That Medal of Honor, new Medal of Honor, is supposed to be like 40, but this game's only like under 8 gigs, which is great. Most of the games don't take up a lot of space. I said it was just awesome. It was a great time. I loved going into that world and kind of being in there. And just the controls and everything work works so well in my opinion. It's more about the controls and stuff too, because the graphics are fine the way they are. It's like whatever. I'm not looking for the best, you know. And that will only get better as they, continue to make these things and shit. But I kind of want to pick up the Walking Dead game too, because that's probably a full-length type of game as well. I'm sure Medal of Honor is also. But next I'll probably start playing. I'll probably jump back into this for a little, but I'll probably start playing that Vader Immortal thing. I gotta mess around with Paranormal Activity as well. But yeah, like I said, I'd give it a 9.5. Just say fucking 9.5. It was that good. Like I said, if you're on the fence about this thing, and the thing is, even when I was watching VR footage on YouTube, you get kind of an idea how it is, but it does not do any of the games justice until you get that fucking thing on, the headset on, and you're playing it. You're like, holy shit, yes. I think getting this game is well worth it. I mean, I would say the same for even like Effective Manor was cool too. Like, there's a lot of cool shit on there, and but Resident Evil 4 is almost like a system seller, if you will. That's just my opinion, but it works so well, man. It would help that I hadn't played it full. I played a little bit of it on the Wii in like 2014 or 2015, but I only played up until the castle part. And so much of the stuff I'm like, I can't even remember. It's been so long. There's parts I did remember, there's others I didn't, so that helped as well. But it didn't matter because it was the new controls made it completely fresh, honestly. And this adds a whole new, in my opinion, these kind of games. I'm like, I want to play it again. It adds a whole new replay value because I'm like, I'm just having fun playing a fucking game. I just want to go back in and just and just do that shit again because you're jumping back in the world, you know. So that's kind of cool as well. But yeah, I just wanted to do a review on that. Mainly just talking about how it works and stuff, not as much the graphics and shit, because the graphics are fine. They're not groundbreaking, obviously. It's just like up-res shit from a 2005 game, but it still looks decent enough, and it's all about those controls and shit. But yeah, thanks for checking this out, and have a good day.